It's truly a blessing for me to be entrusted by Father Francois to share my reflection on the gospel today. You know that story of Zacchaeus is always my favorite story in the Bible. And every time I read this story, my imagination increases a lot, materially and spiritually. First of all, his stature captured my attention because he is weirdly short. He's short and so short that he was lost in the crowd, according to the Bible. Secondly, in the eyes of the community at that time, he was not considered a righteous man as a chief tax collector for the Roman Empire. It's way, way, way too bad to the eyes of the Israelite. Thirdly, Zacchaeus was considered unjustly wealthy. He should not be proud of his wealth at all, since he made profit in collecting the tolls. In general, he was held in public contempt. However, that was not all about Zacchaeus. Personally, I like him a lot. Why? Because I found other interesting aspects about his personality. For example, first, he was a man of strong passion. So strong that he did not care what people thought of him as a child, or he had a childish acting. He climbed up into the sycamore tree to see Jesus. Secondly, Zacchaeus was a strong, determined man. How? When the Pharisees publicly grumbled that he was a sinner, he defended himself pointedly by saying that, "I give 1/2 of my possessions to the poor." It's an announcement publicly. Thirdly, Zacchaeus was an honest man to me. I don't know what he did with the toll, but he is an honest man because what he said, "And if I have defrauded anyone of anything, I restore it fourfold." He made such a public confession about his deeds, and he restored what he had inadvertently cheated 400%. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 6, verse 5, and Numbers, chapter 5, verse 6 and 7, the Torah demanded the restoration of the object plus 20% interest. Here, Zacchaeus chose to pay the greater penalty. He surpassed the Torah's requirements. Sometimes in my imagination when I was a teenager, I thought that if I lived in his time and if he asked me out for a date, I would say yes. Because of that virtues, honest, strong mind, and have compassion, and very determined. Those are very good virtues of a man. So through Zacchaeus' words of confession and actions, we see that he showed or he manifested the total conversion of his heart. Metanoia. Metanoia is the word to describe the total change of the heart, turned the opposite way. He used to go this way, then he turned to this way, to the right way. That's my reflection about Zacchaeus. And now, since I share with you those characters about Zacchaeus, I came in my mind this question: am I fearlessly passionate about Jesus like a Zacchaeus? Are we fearlessly passionate about Jesus like a Zacchaeus? The answer must be yes. We all encounter Jesus in different ways. That's why we are here today. The question is our passion still with us? In further reading, to learn more about this Bible character, I found out some more information about Zacchaeus, and I would like to share with you. The name Zacchaeus appears 2 times only in the Bible. 1 time here in Luke, in New Testament, and 1 time in the Old Testament, in the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 10 and verse 19. The Hebrew word from which this name is formed means clean, pure, innocent. Unfortunately, he was not seen as such. Today, when we reflect on Zacchaeus' confession and conversion, I was encouraged by Father Francois to share my story of how I met Jesus and became a Catholic. It is in the book, A Silent Voice, that Father just showed you earlier. And I would like to share with you just an abstract now. I came from a family deeply rooted in Buddhism. My father died after he converted to Protestantism. He did take my mother and all of us to church a few times, but that's all I remembered about Christianity at the age of 6. My mother, a 28-year-old widow, was not able to raise 6 children, so he moved back in with my grandmother, a very devout Buddhist, for support. My grandma agreed that my mother and all of us could keep the Christian faith in honor of my father, but I was selected to be her helper, which meant I had to follow her to the Buddhist pagoda and to practice Buddhism like her. Every week, I went to church in the morning with my mother and my other siblings. But in the afternoon, I went to pagoda with my grandmother. So as a result, you can see how much I was influenced by both theories, totally different, and how I practiced different faiths in my life since childhood. I often found myself in a kind of spiritual battle because of those differences. And in the darkest moments of my spiritual conflict that tortured my soul, God saved me miraculously. My grandmother suddenly fell sick, and she died within 6 months. Right after she died, I was baptized and practiced my Protestant faith actively. And I was 17 at that time. Until the communists of North Vietnam invaded the South where we lived, my life changed again. I escaped on boat, and I was arrested. God followed me every single step. He saved me from the wrath of the communist guards and prepared for me a successful escape later. The details of how I escaped, how I was arrested, and how God saved me, you can find the details in the book. In the refugee camp was where I met a Catholic young man whom I later married. I did not want to give up my Protestant faith until one day the Virgin Mary came to me quietly in my dreams. She did not come to visit me 1 time, 3 times, quietly, and then I got the message from her, and the message struck me so hard that I could not keep my tears in the midnight, And in the morning when I woke up, I got to find Father. Father, I want to be a Catholic because Virgin Mary called me. Again, the details of my conversion to Catholicism are in, you can find it in the book. I see myself somewhat like a Zacchaeus with a strong passion to do what I want to. I would like to know more about the Holy Cross community. That's the reason why you saw me, a strange face, coming to attend the Divine Liturgy a couple months ago. I would like to especially thank Father Francois for giving me a chance to share my spiritual journey through the book. And this moment, I want to send my heartfelt thanks to all of you for listening to my testimony. The silent voice is my gift to all of you. And I did sign and put my info contact on the front page. So I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback. Thank you very much for your listening. And may God bless all of us today and enjoy the book as well as the breakfast. Thank you.